Don't work to live, don't live to work, just live. One, you want happy people, whether that's working from home or another country. Remote enabled employees are happier, healthier and more productive. Two, you want your people to feel trusted as adults. Yes, as adults. Three, you want your people to be productive with fewer interruptions. And four, you want your people to enjoy the moments that matter in life. Recent research by Coastal Cloud found that commuting is associated with an increased risk of obesity, insomnia, stress, depression, and even divorce. The great thing about remote, no more commutes. In a recent study of remote work by Buffer, 19% of remote workers feel that loneliness is their biggest struggle. That's why we're passionate about using the term work from anywhere rather than work from home. Working remotely doesn't mean that you need to be hauled up like Walter White in his isolated New Hampshire cabin all day. It's true that folks who work remotely may choose to work alone in their home on occasions, but that's not the only option. Experiencing feelings of loneliness is natural when you're working this way, but you're not restricted to working from home. There's lots of options. Coffee shops, libraries, co-working spaces are popular among remote workers. There's even new sites like WorkFrom that are collating feedback from remote workers to curate the best public locations for getting things done. There are startups focused on bringing remote workers into unoccupied spaces like restaurants during working hours. The social aspect of work may be more deliberate, but certainly not diminished in a remote working setting. When you hire the right people, the unfortunate truth is that when they're trusted to get their work done from anywhere, they can build an overwhelming feeling of guilt and have a tendency to overwork. Without commutes, they suddenly have more time in their hands, they've got more flexibility and freedom to choose to work when they're at their best, and they can take in the life moments that they've perhaps had to pass on previously. Simple things like taking their children to school. We've seen it before with many of our people who have transitioned from a corporate culture to a remote one. This is when having great people who are experienced with remote working can be crucial. Whether it's teammates or leaders, they often identify triggers in those who are especially in that transitional phase. It's important to chat with them, coach them through that guilt curve. It's amazing how simply talking to a person can make a world of difference. Suddenly those people get the reassurance that they're not alone in suffering these emotions, and that it's natural. They seem to emit a huge sigh of relief because deep down they know the rate of work, coupled with the feeling of guilt, is unsustainable, and they would have ended up crashing and burning without any support. Most of all, they know that as a leader or a teammate that you care, and that becomes really powerful. When you've got the right people, you need to ensure you keep them connected. Otherwise, there can be a real risk of detachment, isolation, even depression. It's very important to keep in touch frequently via video, but also set up channels within your collaboration tools such as Slack to encourage random chats about their interests or hobbies. Meeting up as often as you can is also important too. That may be dictated by your budget, but aim to get your remote people together at least every 3 months, whether that's for a dinner or taking part in some activities. Remember, these meetups are not necessarily about work. The culture never stops, it's something you need to work at every single day to reinforce. We've experienced this, and as a leader you need to reinforce the behaviours. It can be as simple as repeatedly calling up your team members to make sure they're on their collaboration tool, such as Slack or Microsoft Teams, and ensure that the team members are engaging with each other. These are the small rituals that are fundamentally important to making remote working feel connected. There may be an aspect of forced behaviour initially, but it soon becomes the norm. In this example, your team soon sees the value of chatting each morning, even if it's just to say hey. Most people have felt stress and anxiety in their lives, and most would say they struggle to cope with these thoughts and feelings. In modern times, the pace can feel relentless, and this can be amplified by unnecessary pressures in your work. especially with the rise of work practices such as Agile or Lean and the connotations they bring. There are many tools and techniques that can support people suffering these feelings, especially when it's becoming detrimental to your well-being. It's human nature to wait until something bad happens or for a difficult life moment to occur before you seek help. Being able to learn the skills and the techniques to support you in your daily life can prove hugely beneficial when feelings of stress or anxiety arise. Something that's proven successful at 22 North is the practice of meditation. It can help you navigate feelings of stress and anxiety in a positive way. The key point to remember with meditation is that it's not about stopping these thoughts of stress and anxiety. Meditation is about witnessing your mind in a new way. People often try to use distraction techniques to cope with such feelings or try and force themselves to feel different. Meditation helps shift the focus away from being caught up in the thought and becoming present with the feeling and the sensation. This way you step out while still acknowledging it. It really helps slow the mind from racing uncontrollably and playing that storyline that comes with the negative thoughts and feelings. If you'd like to learn more or you think we can help, we'd love to hear from you. Head over to 22north.co.uk now.